how do I let go of some bitterness or resentment towards my husband about like poor career decisions he made a few years ago?
Tell me about it.
Well, okay. So first of all, he did not do anything illegal or immoral or behind my back. I just want to put that out there. So some background, my husband and I have been married for about 7 years. And for the first 4.5, 5 years of our marriage, he was in the Marine Corps. And so I don't know how many veterans you've sat with, but the transition out of the military is like a big piece of this story. So coming out of the military, he found like a short-term job working in sports social media. It was a lot of fun. It was something he really enjoyed, but it didn't translate into anything long-term. So then, against my better judgment, and maybe his own, he took a job in commission-only sales. And that was a really, really tough year. Really tough.
Emotionally or financially or both?
Both.
Okay.
Both. And, it was one of those things that I am still, I think, also kicking myself for, like, I don't want to say allowing, but kind of allowing that to go on as long as it did. So then after that, when I basically said to him about a year into commission-only sales, like, honey, you're not making any money. We can't keep doing this. Then he found his way to like a part-time job in a major retail chain just to have some money coming in. And then that translated into a full-time job at said retail chain. And that's what he's doing now. But it's not, he doesn't love it. It's kind of blah, but it's a okay fit for now because we have good benefits and we have a young family and so on. But I think I'm still holding on to a lot of like tension from that year of commission-only sales.
So is the job the proxy? Meaning, are you able to look at the job and be upset with him about the job when really he was pretty ugly to you? Or
No.
Okay.
I think we've had some really ugly conversations about it.
Tell me about it. Tell me about those.
Well, maybe some anger, maybe some blaming, maybe some denial.
On your part or his part?
I think both. I think the fact that he kept getting up and doing this job for a year, I think there was denial on both of our parts.
But hold on. How old are you?
31.
Okay. I guess let me back all the way out. It's very, very common. Very common. And you know this because this is y'all's community. Especially a Marine. They get out and they get home and they're just full civilian life. Number one, they're told this from day one. Number two, many of them have this lived experience that you can do anything now that you have this training, this support network, and this skill set. It's also very easy to think, if I did X, Y, and Z, I was deployed, I was doing all this stuff behind the scenes, I was living this rigorous of a life, dude, I can go I can do anything.
Yeah.
And so there's something to be said for a really powerful, important lesson of finding out, oh, this isn't for me. And so as you're telling me this story, I keep thinking, what a freaking heroic guy to get up day after day to a job that has one marker in it of success, and that is dollars.
Yeah.
And to try and try and try and try. And it might be that you're wrestling with, I married a guy that could do anything, and you don't have a psychology for finding out there's a thing he can't do. I don't know what it is, but I'm hearing a guy that I think is pretty damn heroic, and I'm hearing a guy who, thank God he has a wife in his life who spoke truth to him and said, hey, this is killing you. I'm watching it happen. That gave him permission to stop. And now, yeah, he's at a temporary place. Most guys I meet in this situation quit that job and just pick up a video game controller.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is this, your feelings are right. But I wonder if it's not resentment as much as it is grief, or it's just a resettling of, I had this big, awesome, strong Marine who then turned into a failed salesman.
Yeah. There's definitely grief. And I think too, I wasn't equipped for like his emotions during the military transition time.
It's a nightmare, man. It's a nightmare. It's one of I think our biggest embarrassments as a culture. It's a shame. It's shameful.
And I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but we also had like a newborn baby.
Sure, that didn't add any complexity.
3-month-old. Yeah, we had like a 3-month-old when he got out of the military.
Right.
So I was also checked out in some ways.
Or you were checked completely in, just in a different direction.
Yes, that's more accurate.
So checked out isn't true. You were just focused on keeping a human alive.
Yes.
Yeah. And my guess is this. Have you heard me talk about pictures and words? I talk about it all the time.
Yes.
My guess is you had a very real picture of what life would be like when he got home. And he had a very real picture in his head about what life was going to be like when he got home. And you had a real picture of what life was going to be like when he took this 100% commission job. Whenever you take, I have one of those. Whenever you take a 100% commission job, they promise you the freaking moon. And both of you had a different picture about what that. I just think there's a lot of grief about, the picture we had didn't play out that way.
You're right. And so maybe that's what he and I need to talk about.
I don't even know if it's that as much as what kind of house do you and I want to build moving forward? And if you go into that conversation with, you failed at this, you failed at that, and I need you, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to do what every other guy in the world's going to do, is just have another brick of shame piled on his shoulders. He's going to put his head down and just go find another thing. If you can reframe it and say, I saw a guy have to come home and learn how to be a dad, learn how to be a civilian, learn how to stand by morons in the grocery store line, being like, I can't believe it. And he's like, dude, I'll tell you what, I can't believe, right? And he had to deal with a pregnant wife and a postpartum wife, and he had to deal with 100%. You know what you have? You have a guy that will not quit on your behalf, probably to a fault.
You're right.
To a fault.
You're right. He's amazing.
And a virtuous wife is worth rubies. I need my wife to regularly say, I know you think this is a good idea. I love you, and I know you better than you do sometimes. Please don't do this for my sake, for our kids' sake, and for your sake. And I go, okay.
Okay.
And by the way, that took me about 15 years of being married before I had the courage to exhale and start trusting her in that way.
Yeah, so about twice as long as we've been married.
Right, so just stay on for me. But here's the deal. If you were to do, how old's your little one now?
She's 3,
Okay.
but I'm currently pregnant again.
Yeah, because why not? Okay, so because why not? Hey, and your body would be crazy if it didn't remember how tough that year was after your baby was born, and is already gearing up and shielding up for that year to reproduce itself. You should be tense, okay?
Yeah.
So what if you did this? Can I give you a crazy thing to try? And I'm assuming now he's not a jerk. He's a good guy.
No, he's an amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what every man in the world would love in this situation?
Okay.
Will you write him a letter about what you saw when he came home? That you all, and make it about virtues. I saw a confident man come back and try to take on the world for me and a brand new little girl. And that's how you get up to a job that was killing you, and you kept going and you kept going, and you weren't successful, but you never stopped. And then you were a man who listened to his wife when I said, this is killing you, it's killing us. And you humbled yourself to go take a part-time job. And now you're working a job that you don't love. It's kind of taking your soul away too, but you're doing it for all of us. And I see that, and I'm so grateful I married you.
Oh, I think he would love that. I have tears in my eyes listening to you.
I know, but listen, here's the most important part. A, you're letting him know I saw you. And then I want to honor you, husband. I want to love you enough to say, I want us to build something awesome going forward. So what does that look like? Does that mean you need to go back to school? And basically what you're going to be doing is giving him permission to settle in finally. He's been running for his life since he got out of the crew. He knows what friendship actually means, brotherhood means. And now he's so cut off socially. He's cut off with, most of the Marines I know are asking themselves, did I even do the right thing? Am I glad I did that? Am I glad all those hard existential questions that they're not allowed to ask civilians.
Yeah.
But being able to look at this great man and say, hey, as your wife, I'm giving you permission. You don't need it, but I'm giving it to you. Let's go settle in and build the life that we want now. What must be true?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all have lived a year where you made no money. Y'all survived. It sucked, but you survived.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
Yeah.
So if he needs,
we've come out the other side. We're not in a mountain of debt.
So if he needs to go get another job or get retrained or go back to school or whatever, y'all can handle that. You've handled worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then let him dream out loud a little bit without the pressure of, and by the way, he's going to feel pressure. He's got a little baby girl and then another one on the way and a wife he loves. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it is. And I do not work outside the home. And so it's, yeah. I know he's carrying the weight of our family on his shoulders.
But sometimes good men who are just basically great mules, right, need the woman who loves them more than anything in the world needs permission to say, hey, I see it. And I would love, even if you need to set the squat bar down for a minute, I'd love you set it down for a minute so that you can retool and relearn something or reimagine and then move on. And he might tell you, I'm embarrassed to say I love retail sales and I kind of want to run this whole store one day. Like give him permission to say those kind of things out loud, right?
Well, so I think his next move actually, and we're have gotten good news about it, is to become a police officer on a college campus.
That's fantastic.
So that's the next thing. We're looking at the police academy.
And also, let me tell you something rad about that. If he hangs in there for 15 years, your kid goes to school for free.
Yes. So, which would be great.
I don't even know if there's college in 15 years, but if there is, he'll get to go for free. He'll get to go for free, right?
Yes.
Or by that time, he may be the chief of the police station and making six figures, and you'll have a pretty great life, and you got free tuition built. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just exhale, and that's awesome that he's going back and doing something that he's going to love. And man, my old man loved driving around. He was a college police officer for years, just hassling college kids.
Oh, really?
He loved it, man. Yeah. And he made way less than he should have, and he was, you know what I mean? But it's a fun job.
Yeah.
And if you got military check coming in, and you got a police check coming in, and you got tuition down this, I mean, it ends up being a pretty good gig.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you could speak some life into his exhausted soul if you sat back and just simply wrote him a letter that you read to him out loud and started with, I've seen you. And I'm so proud of you.
That's really good. Thank you.
Is that cool?
I feel like I'm one of the few people that he lets close enough, for those sorts of things.
Yep.
So yes.
You will give him so much wind in his sails, he don't even know what to do. You'll have to then say, by the way, you got to take the trash out and reground him. Otherwise, he's going to float off to space, man. I don't know any good man in the world that doesn't long to hear the words from their wife. I'm proud of you. I mean, it's I don't know. It's the most magic statement. If all of you wives listening to this right now, and husbands listen, I don't care who you're like, whoever's married to who, I don't care. If you're listening to this, if you have a husband in your life that is a good man who's working hard and maybe isn't successful, maybe is super successful, wherever they happen to find themselves, if you can find a moment where it's not a big production and you can make eye contact, better yet, put your hands on his face or write something down and read it to him directly and make him take it. Man, you say the words, I'm proud of you. Shoot. They're going to transform humanity, man. Most men go home feeling like a failure factory. And they can't do home right. They can't do dad right. They can't do their job right. They are stressed about what's coming down the road with all the changes in the workforce and yada, yada. Man, a spouse that will hold them and say, I'm proud of you. And I see how you love us. Shoot, that's gold right there. That's gold right there.